Hello folks, this is Chris, and I thought it was time to talk about the events that began last year on February 23rd when I was traveling to CPAC in Orlando, Florida. Early in the morning, just past midnight, got the word that Russia had invaded Ukraine. This, of course, is after Joe Biden paid no attention to Russian troops moving to the border 6 weeks after he became president, 70,000 troops in March of 2021. He downplayed it, ignored it. No public statements, no public pronouncements, no efforts to show unity with Ukraine, which apparently is so important now. Deterrence would have worked then. An 18th Airborne Corps and 82nd Airborne Division bilateral exercise in the summer of 2021 would have shown American resolve towards preventing a Russian invasion of Ukraine. Some say it's provocative. No, you're mistaken. It simply would have been a grand public affairs issue. That's all. But Biden showed weakness in Myanmar. Biden showed weakness in Afghanistan. Biden showed weakness when Putin moved troops to the border. Biden showed weakness in each and every term, except when it came to destroying the rights of Americans, confusing the English language, and promoting people based on their skin pigmentation, their sexual orientation, and their incompetence, not on merit. It's about all Biden was able to accomplish in that time frame. Now we're 1 year on in this Ukraine conflict, and the United States has spent something in the order of $145 billion that we know about publicly. Is there more money we don't know about? I wouldn't be surprised. And what's going on? Are we going back to the Minsk agreement? No, there's been no discussion of that. Has there been an effort, a genuine effort at negotiating peace or calling for a peace conference or asking Russia and Ukraine to put their cards on the table? No, there hasn't. Why? Because Joe Biden and a corrupt Congress are fueling a proxy war in Ukraine, as well as Jens Stoltenberg and NATO. Why? Why is that? Western Europeans are suffering sky-high energy rates, ludicrous prices they're paying for electricity as a consequence of Germany's failed moronic policy pursued by Angela Merkel to abandon its safe, productive, clean nuclear power industry in favor of borrowing gas from the Russians. The Nord Stream pipeline blown up, by all accounts, people are claiming it's the United States. Whoever blew it up, and it seems probably it was the United States, but whoever blew it up, to what end? What is the purpose of that release of all of that energy and the destruction of that pipeline? Who did that benefit? It didn't benefit the Russians, although it was blamed on the Russians. So here we are. $145 billion later, tens of thousands of lives destroyed, entire cities in the Donbass and throughout the Ukraine rubble. And what do we have for it? Well, we have a penis-playing piano player who is now president of Ukraine, getting fame. We have a president whose son, Hunter Biden, and his laptop have disappeared from conversation. We have a political class that has usurped liberty and violated the Constitution each and every turn, including a corrupt Federal Bureau of Investigation which colluded with tech companies and or threatened them to spy on Americans and to censor Americans in violation of the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, the most basic of our laws. This is where we are. While people look the other way, a corrupt criminal conspiracy of political elites around the world has usurped liberty and freedom from people in South Africa, in the United Kingdom, in Ireland, in New Zealand, Australia, Canada, the United States. How did we get here? What are people so afraid of? The numbers haven't changed. Same number of people are dying every day. Yet people can gather in the thousands on rugby pitches. People can gather in the millions in the streets and not nary a comment about the 3 years we've just went through. What has changed? Well, the elites have tried their methods and they've worked, and they're perfecting their methods to usurp freedom from freedom-loving citizens around the world. In Ukraine is yet another example of elites fueling something that has benefit for no one but themselves. Who benefits from the Ukraine conflict? Ethnic Russians? Not really. Ukrainians? Not at all. Volodymyr Zelensky? For damn sure. Vladimir Putin? Probably. Joe Biden? Absolutely. Jens Stoltenberg? He's suddenly important. Who amongst you ever heard of Jens Stoltenberg before the invasion of Ukraine by Russia? I had, but then I'm a geopolitical policy wonk and a historian political scientist, so it's sort of my craft. Most people never heard of Jens Stoltenberg, but now you know who he is, just like you never heard of Kofi Annan until he interfered in peacekeeping operations causing the lives of thousands of people in Rwanda and in Somalia. Anyway, folks, thanks a lot. Appreciate you tuning in. And we mark 1 year anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. And as I said, it's a slow burn. It's not going to end anytime soon. This will continue as long as the U.S. and NATO fuel proxy war. Cheers.